name is Megan Bradbury, and I'm a novelist, tutor and creative writing mentor. I've worked in association with the National Centre for Writing for a number of years, as a mentor for the Escalator Literature programme and as a tutor for the intermediate level creative writing course Next Steps. I've also worked as a mentor and creative writing supervisor for MFA students at Birkbeck University and for agencies such as the Literary Consultancy and the Ruppin Agency. The mentorship I offer is over 12 to 18 months. During this period, I meet the writer 8 times. The first time we meet is for a planning session. In this session, we discuss the writer's goals for the mentorship, what they hope to achieve by the end of it. We discuss the project they'll be working on and their general working practice. We discuss how they're going to schedule their writing time over the next 12 months. And we come up with an action plan for our time together, which might include a reading list or set of exercises to help the writer get started. We also schedule our submission and meeting dates in this session. Then we meet for 6 feedback sessions. The writer submits up to 10,000 words 2 weeks in advance of each meeting. This might be an extract from a novel, a short story, a couple of short stories, a mixture of extracts and notes. I will read this work and make detailed notes throughout the manuscript. I then return my feedback to the writer a few days before we meet to give the writer a chance to think about my notes privately. We then discuss this feedback and any other matters during the one-to-one session. The feedback sessions usually take place every 2 months. At the end of the programme, we meet for a summary session. The purpose of this session is to set out the writer's next steps. This might be a conversation about how to look for an agent or about the publishing process more generally. It might be a discussion about how to submit work to literary journals and magazines. The intention of this session is for the writer to come away with a plan for what to do next. By the end of the programme, the writer will have received detailed feedback on up to 60,000 words, individualised reading lists and writing exercises, and a better knowledge of their own writing preferences and processes. I also draw on my own experience as a novelist and share the documents and approaches that I've found useful. I work with writers over a variety of genres and disciplines: fiction writers, including literary and commercial fiction, memoirists, short story writers, and writers working across genres on hybrid projects. I also work with writers at all stages of development. Some writers are beginning to work on a project and use the submission dates as writing deadlines for first draft material. Some writers have already written a partial or full draft of something and use the mentorship as a forum in which to explore possibilities in the narrative, to experiment with it, and to refine and finesse the work. Despite what stage you're at in your writing journey, working on a one-to-one basis with a professional writer over a long period of time can be enormously beneficial. The mentoring relationship is different from the relationship one will have with an agent or editor, whose focus is on the finished product. Mentoring looks at the whole picture. It looks in detail at the writing, but it also looks at the journey you need to take to get to that end point. It looks at process, how to build an effective writing routine, how to work positively, how to write in a house full of kids or alongside full-time employment, how to research, how to redraft, how to ask questions of your work, how to separate writing from editing. These are all the things I can help you with. I see the mentorship as a forum for experimentation and discussion. And this is what I love most about doing this work, the opportunity to work closely with a writer over a long period of time, long enough to learn about their interests, their writing style, their process, to get down to the nitty-gritty of the project, but also of the writer. In my experience, often if there are problems in a project, it's a matter of approach, not ideas. And so one of my roles as a mentor is to help the writer understand more about their writing practice, to learn about what works for them and what doesn't work for them. And my aim is that by the end of the process, the writer will have a better understanding of who they are as a writer, what their interests are, and what the best processes are for them to get the most out of their writing. Ultimately, I want to help writers understand more about what makes their writing unique and how to hone that uniqueness. This approach stems from the kind of mentoring I received when I wrote my first novel. I was lucky enough to work with mentors who not only gave me insightful and meaningful notes, but who also understood and believed in my potential as a writer. This is what I try to do as a mentor. I aim to give constructive and useful feedback, but I also support and encourage. I help writers learn how to ask questions of their work, to look for opportunities in it, to learn to critique their own writing in a positive way, and to find a way that will help them work with future projects. I love this work. I find it stimulating and creative. I love being involved in people's writing life. I love helping them to solve problems and to uncover new processes and strategies. It's incredibly rewarding to see a project grow and develop throughout the mentorship, and to see the writer's confidence grow. I couldn't have written my debut novel without this kind of support. It was vital for me. It taught me to take my work seriously. It taught me to trust my own instincts. For me, this is the most important lesson a writer can learn, but it can be hard to do so on your own.